Washington County School Board expresses concern over class reduction size bill. An inside look at Washington County's $1 billion reuse plan. And your daily weather forecast, coming up with highs, lows, and everything you need to know for the days ahead.
You're watching St. George News at 5, brought to you by our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law.
Good afternoon, I'm Monica McLaughlin. The Washington County School District Board of Education expressed concern over SB 32, a proposed bill that would gradually reduce funding for class size reductions, potentially impacting 7th and 8th grade classes as early as next school year. For more on how this legislation could affect local schools and what district leaders are doing in response, here's Nick Fiala.
The Washington County Board of Education recently held a special meeting to discuss numerous topics, including education bills under discussion in the legislative session. One piece of legislation the board found concerning was Senate Bill 32, the Class Size Reduction Modifications Bill, which would pull funding for class size reductions over a period of years. The district's business administrator, Brent Bills, detailed the conversations he has had with state legislators about the issue of class size reduction.
The question comes up, because I've answered it a lot of times, different legislators over the years, is we keep putting more and more money into class size reduction, but class sizes don't go down. If you put the exact same money into class size reduction and employees get raises and the cost of insurance goes up, so the cost of employees go up, you can buy fewer teachers, which mean class sizes would go up. You have to put the money in and that buys it down, right? And after that, you have to continue to pay for that plus the inflation on that to keep it at that same level that you bought down to, right? And that's hard for some legislators to understand. We can clearly show that it's buying down the class size and it's being used exactly the way it's meant to be used. But then you get new legislators come in and then they don't understand it and then they ask the exact same questions. We're trying to get those meetings set up. I know that there were comments made in the committee meetings before this final iteration was brought up, and so other options were discussed, what the problems were with him. But then this one popped up at the last second, and so it went in front of the committee, and the committee recommended it, and we really didn't even know that this was going to come up. We kind of got asked why we didn't do opposition because it came out of the committee back in November. With this high vote, and we're like, because there were a whole bunch of iterations and we hadn't even heard this one until it was presented in the committee and passed.
Thanks, Nick. Washington County is investing in a $1 billion regional water reuse system to help meet its water needs over the next 20 years, with plans for new reservoirs, reclamation facilities, and over 60 miles of pipeline. We'll go to Maury Kessler for a closer look at how this massive project will impact the county's future water needs.
Washington County is investing in a large-scale water reuse system to meet its future water needs over the next 20 years. Estimated to run up to $1 billion, the project will include new reservoirs, expanded reclamation facilities, a 60-plus mile trunk line, and an advanced water purification plant. As is normal with big water projects, Washington County Water Conservancy District General Manager Zach Renstrom said it may take up to 2 decades to build the reuse system, but it will be worth it.
This is going to be a very long project. It's going to probably take 15 to 20 years complete. But this really will preserve our water for the future. It's going to make us more drought resistant. It's going to make us more reliant on local control, local water.
The reuse system is anticipated to produce over 24,000 acre-feet of recycled water annually by 2042. This and other projects have taken center stage over the $2 billion Lake Powell pipeline, which Renstrom said remains on hold due to political and environmental concerns. While conservation efforts remain essential, officials emphasize that reuse infrastructure will play a crucial role in securing the region's water future.
So the only thing I would add is the water district, we spend a lot of time and effort making sure that we have safe, reliable drinking water, and just not for today, but in the future. And so we are actively planning for a hotter, drier scenario and also a lot of growth to occur to make sure that we're prepared for any scenario. And I think a perfect example of that is right now, we're looking at one of the driest water years ever recorded. And yet I can sit here and say for a surety that we will have safe, reliable drinking water this summer because of the planning and building of large infrastructure projects that were sometimes built almost 30, 40, even 100 years ago. And we're going to continue that on for our next generation.
Thanks, Maury. Let's take a look at your daily weather forecast, brought to you by Casablanca Resort and Casino. In St. George, it's currently mostly cloudy with a temperature of 68 degrees. Tonight, expect a low of 43. Tomorrow, we'll see a high of 69 and a low of 49. Over in Mesquite, it's partly sunny and 72 degrees at the moment. Tonight's low will be around 48. Tomorrow, anticipate a high of 73 and a low of 54. Meanwhile, in Cedar City, conditions are mostly sunny with the temperature at 53 degrees. A wind advisory is in effect until 4 p.m. tomorrow, with strong south winds gusting up to 55 miles per hour. Tonight's low is expected to be 37 degrees. Tomorrow, look for a high of 56 and a low of 43. Now we'll go to Jill Paulson for your weekly update on the Southern Utah real estate market.
Here is a summary of what happened in the Washington County real estate market in December. Remember, these statistics are 1 month behind, as the new data does not come out for the previous month until the middle of the following month. In December, Washington County's real estate market showed strong activity. Single-family home sales rose from 200 in November to 224, surpassing December's figures from both 2023 and 2022. Listings for these homes dropped from 1,452 to 1,349. Townhouse and condo sales also jumped increasingly from 51 to 85. While their listings declined from 412 to 376. Additionally, single-family home building permits saw a significant rise, climbing from 65 in November to 104 in December. All data reflects only Washington County, ensuring an accurate snapshot of local market trends.
Thanks, Jill. As Washington County faces growing traffic congestion, a new report from Conserve Southwest Utah and Spec Dempsey suggests alternatives to road expansion, emphasizing smarter growth and transportation options. For more on the potential impacts of the proposed Northern Corridor Highway and what solutions are being explored, we'll go to Alicia Lundgren.
Conserve Southwest Utah partnered with urban design firm Spec Dempsey, which completed a peer review of the 2024 traffic analysis that was created in support of the Northern Corridor Supplemental Environmental Impact Statement. The two groups held a public meeting in St. George to discuss the resulting report. Part of the meeting focused on alternatives to traffic congestion outside of expanding Washington County's road system. These include city and county officials investing in public transit, increasing cycling and walking infrastructure, and encouraging carpooling, among others. Additionally, Spec Dempsey co-founder Chris Dempsey said that designing mixed-use neighborhoods in a grid system gives drivers multiple pathways to reach a destination and encourages residents to walk and bike. He said downtown St. George is a good example of this.
There's more porosity, there's more choice that people have about what road or what path they take to get to the place that they want to get to. And that's so true in this example here that some of these trips can even be done by walking or biking or using micromobility of some kind.
Comparatively, Dempsey said traditional neighborhoods offer few exit points from subdivisions, and because residents must travel outside the neighborhood to reach stores, schools, and other services, traffic is filtered into arterial roadways.
Thanks, Alicia. Bryn's Bagels is serving up Philadelphia-style bagels in southern Utah. But the heart of the story lies in owner Bryn Swavely's journey of overcoming addiction and finding healing through baking. Here's Jessie Bang for a closer look at how her passion for bagels became a symbol of recovery and connection.
Born and raised just outside of Philadelphia, Bryn Swavely grew up with bagels as a daily staple. When she moved to St. George and discovered there were no bagel shops like the ones back home, she knew it was time to change that and began making her own. What started as making bagels for friends and family quickly turned into a business, and she hasn't stopped since. As for what she likes on her bagels, she had this to say.
Peanut butter I love butter, so if I'm going sweet, it would probably be pumpkin with peanut butter. I have yet to meet a bagel I don't like, though.
But life hasn't always been easy. Her move to St. George was driven by her battle with alcohol addiction and an eating disorder, alongside the loss of her boyfriend to suicide. By opening up and sharing both her struggles and successes, she hopes to make a meaningful difference in the lives of others. She offered this advice for anyone trying to quit an addiction.
To just do it, no matter how many times you've tried. That's my story. I tried. I felt like everything. I guess just like know that there are people waiting to support you and people that can relate. That's what community does. And I think, unfortunately, for people with eating disorders or addictions and alcoholism, our brains will convince us that we're the worst and we're the only ones and we're broken and we're unfixable. And for me, anyway, I really needed some outside perspectives to help break that and to show me there have been other people who have recovered and shown me that it's possible.
Thank you for watching St. George News at 5. To learn more about our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law, go to WeWinInjuryLaw.com. I'm Monica McLaughlin with St. George News, your #1 source for local news.
This has been St. George News at 5, brought to you by We Win Injury Law.